Charles Bullard. I'm the Community Development Director for the City of Novi. Our department has three main parts. The first is our Planning Division, where we deal with all of the land use ordinances, natural features protections, site plan approvals, and reviews. The second part is the Building Inspection, Building Division, where we review plans for buildings, do all of the building and trade inspections for the construction of those buildings. And then the third part of the Community Development Department is the Ordinance Enforcement folks. They deal with making sure that our community stays up to the standards that our residents expect, the high quality standards, and also assist with soil erosion, property maintenance, all those kinds of things that are integral to keeping a quality, desirable community that folks want to live in. One of the things that our department does is we work hand in hand with a lot of other departments in the city. We work with the Engineering and Department of Public Services staff on projects, development projects, roads, things like that. We also work very closely with the fire department in terms of fire safety, looking at sprinkler systems and alarm systems for new and remodeled buildings. One of the opportunities that we have is to preserve and watch over the natural features, the wetlands and woodlands that are an important part of our community, and help give it the character that it has. Our department does a lot to make sure that those areas are maintained and the quality is kept up. Also, when developers come in or businesses come in, we spend a lot of time assisting them in going through the process, getting a quality project built, getting a new business moved in, getting their folks comfortable, and finding a situation or a building that's going to profit for them in the long term and allow them to become a strong, viable part of the community.
My name is Barb Macbeth, and I'm the Deputy Director of Community Development. I'm in charge of the planning functions associated with community development. That's planning and zoning and site plans, land use, representing the planning department and the planning commission and various new development projects. Generally, when somebody comes in with a site plan for review and consideration, we expect that there's going to be compliance with the zoning ordinance provisions in terms of height and setback and landscaping standards, parking requirements, and those kinds of things. If the applicant cannot meet certain requirements, either the Planning Commission can consider whether there's an equivalency and provide a waiver or variance from those requirements, or they can, the applicant can go to the Zoning Board of Appeals and seek relief there. I think something that the public may not be aware of that the Planning Division works on with the Planning Commission is the master plan for land use. Before any kind of development proposal comes in, the Planning Commission, planning staff look at the master plan for land use to identify the appropriate areas of the community for the appropriate land uses. That leads to various goals and recommendations and actually zoning ordinance provisions that are then followed when the applicant comes in with a request for a development.
My name is Kristen Kapolansky. I work in the Planning Division of the Community Development Department at the City of Novi. We work on site plan review and text amendments, all of which I have a part in. We also work on larger projects such as the master plan, the non-motorized master plan, and different projects for specific areas of the city. I think one of the things that we do or have a hand in that people don't notice is that we help maintain the property values throughout the city and help protect and enhance the community character by working on and developing the master plan, the various zoning ordinances, reviewing sites for compliance with those ordinances, and ensuring that they meet the high development standards we have in Novi. We help protect those property values. By working on plans for specific areas, we help ensure that those areas of the city are special or specific nodes that have their own character, their own landscaping details, and create one cohesive development area as opposed to separate development sites. One of the things that I think we try to concentrate on is our customer service aspect. We work with residents of the city and with business owners in the city regularly. If they want to make alterations to their property, if they have questions about different features on their property or about new developments that are going in, we regularly answer those. We also offer services to potential business residents, businesses who want to come into the community. We regularly meet with them at concept meetings and on-site meetings to discuss vacant properties, to discuss features of those vacant properties, to go over our site plan review process, and generally try to make ourselves as accessible as possible so that we can take care of those issues at the front of the process instead of waiting until the end when it becomes a little more cumbersome to deal with.
My name is Andy Garrick. I'm the building official for the City of Novi. I oversee the Building and Safety Department for the city, which does a lot of the construction inspections for new houses, commercial buildings, residential decks, pools, additions, finished basements, and commercial occupancies for new businesses coming into town. We're mainly responsible for the public safety of the buildings, the public buildings, commercial buildings out there. From barrier-free accessibility or handicap accessibility to just overall safety components of the building. A lot of what our department does, I guess, is that we maintain more of a uniformity throughout the community as far as the way buildings look, the way things are designed and built and constructed. Without the community development department, buildings could be all different colors, shapes, sizes, and people could basically do whatever they wanted to, which would definitely bring down the property values of the community itself.
My name is Hal Holtman, and I'm a building inspector for the City of Novi. My job is to enforce the ordinances and state construction code for the residents of our city. Our job is to inspect buildings and projects that are under construction for compliance with the approved plans, construction documents, and compliance with the state construction codes. I think what would be unique about our job is if we do it well, people don't realize we're doing it. It's almost seamless. It's usually when there's a major catastrophe or failure that everybody wonders what happened. If our department did not exist, we would probably have structure failures and, if not a failure, at least unsafe conditions, putting our residents at risk.
My name is Maureen Underhill. I'm one of the ordinance officers with the City of Novi. I'm responsible, and my department is responsible for case management of the Novi zoning code and the nuisance code. We do patrol the city for nuisance violations, including weeds, trash, uncontained, zoning violations, use of property, but we work with the residents very closely before any kind of court citation is issued. So we do a lot of interacting with the residents and explaining the ordinances so that they understand why they're there and how they help our community. If our department wasn't around, there wouldn't be as many eyes and ears in the community. We're out there in the neighborhoods and around the businesses every day. We see the changes and we know what the property use is intended to be. And if the use of that property is changing, it catches our eye pretty quickly. And so then we act on that accordingly, again, by communication with the businesses or the residents.